Hi guys, the girl Njay, and I'm so excited to be here with you once more. Alright, so I'm doing live from Lagos and I just want to tell you what I have on because it's got a story and I just thought to talk about the mystery scarf. Okay, so the mystery scarf is from a kind lady that borrowed me the scarf on the flight to Lagos. Shout out to her. I don't even know her name, and she was like, "Just go with it because it was a bit chilly, and our flights took about 3 hours to land." That's a story for another day. So I'm so grateful. I just want to let you guys know there are still kind people out there, and yes, shout out to my uncle Ebenezer. Okay, you guys are so awesome because you're watching and he was like, I know you need a tripod stand and I'm using one for him. This is my first time using it. I'm so excited. All right, so shout out to every single one of you that has been there with me. And I just launched my new book called Girl Power. So I'm just here to tell you how I launched my book in a week. Truly, sincerely, the book launch was in about a week. And I will not forget Miss Josephine. Josephine, oh my God, she was the fire to me. So I had written this book and a lot of people were complaining they couldn't really reach it online on different platforms. Like Apple Books is not accessible to Nigerians and all that. I know the hassle of, going to different sites and all that. So she was like, okay, let's print the book. And she made printing so easy for me. And here it is. So get your copy. It's just 3,000 Naira. And the PDF goes for 2,000 Naira. Of course, shipping cost for the hard copy to wherever you want. You can order large bundles because proceeds go to teaching children how to read. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so grateful to be doing this. So how was it easy for me to, launch my book? I just want to encourage someone out there that has something to offer. It might not be a book, but you know that it's inside. I don't think you should wait because there's this thing about waiting and not doing anything, trying to make things perfect. The secret is just to start. God has placed something on the inside of you and you know it's going to change your world and you're just trying to wait. Some people wait for money. We can talk like 5 days on not waiting for money. Start. You are the first capital that you need. So it's right here. The idea is right here. You need to write it down. Like, it's so easy for me because once I have like a plan, I put it down on paper. And people say that when you write your plans on paper, it's half done. Well, it's kind of true, okay? So you write it down. You can even set timelines. So you need to take the first step. You need to put it in points of how do I get to this big steps. I have this big dream, how do I get there? Practical steps. And as you're writing down, God's going to inspire you, both people to meet and what to do. So it's pretty easy. For instance, if it's a book you want to write, you need to get the book written down first. Okay, so how do you get a couple of my friends will testify to this. We were actually on a retreat. It's crazy, right? And I was writing this book. Because I had already made up my mind. I told them sometimes you just have to keep saying those things, like setting your brain and your mind ready, and everything also in the atmosphere coming together to work for you, to make sure that you do it and you're just putting it out there. I was like, I'm going to write this book. It was like a 5-day retreat, yeah. So we checked into the retreat lodge and it was still the activities and all that. But I was like, every single break time I have, and trust me, the break times were really short because people needed to rest because we were stretched. But I was like, I was going to write this book. And to be frank, I did it. And although it's a short stories, because all my books come in short stories, which I'm gonna send to movies, by the way. So I'm putting it out there. We're already working on it. Movies a big thing, but I'm not stopping. So I'm just trying to put it out there and tell you that I already know the steps to take, and God is putting people in my mind just because I've written down. All right. So I start writing, and the inspiration just flows. I don't believe in writer's block, even if it exists for some. I don't believe it works for me because what you believe in works for you. So I'm like, God is the one putting this inspiration in my mind. Why should I have a block? So if I have a block, I should tell him, oh God, I need it to just flow. In fact, most of the time, I think for me, even when writing my songs, it's the reverse for me. I'm the one that like, shut up, because the songs are just pouring. I literally have to stop because I'm not trying to do anything. It comes from inside, right? So maybe in the sequel, I'm going to tell us how to write, whether songs. In fact, you can write songs every day. You can literally trigger yourself. You can write every day if you please. It's right there embedded. I don't believe in struggling through life, The Bible says that the blessings of the Lord makes rich and it does not add any toil. There's no sorrow. So if you're toiling, there's something you're not doing right. Okay, so we're going to talk about in the sequel. So let me just talk about how the launch. So now you've written the book, and you know, there are so many free ways to publish online, Amazon, BAM Books. If you want to know how to publish on Amazon, okay, I'll hit you up. Just buzz me and I'll hit you up. And so I wrote the book in like I told you, in those 5 days, and it was awesome. Of course, I gave it to an editor. Shout out to Mirabella, by the way. And she's really affordable, and she was able to edit my book, my work, to make it like to fine tune it. But if you need an editor, you can always hit me up. I'll link you up to several editors. Pretty much that's it. A shout out to my family, by the way. Emeruem's Emeruems are the best. There are 2 families in the world. Emeruems are not as okay, so it's just been an amazing journey, and of course I published on BAM Books, but it's always good to get feedback. I was getting feedback from people that, oh, I really want to read the book. Shout out to all my friends that are always encouraging me, and my family. I really appreciate you and every single one of you out there. And okay, I was like, okay, how do I get the divide? Yes, shout out to Emeka Nobis. He's the boss on this, and he gave me a couple of ideas, and I mean, it led me to this place. And frankly, printing is awesome. Josephine makes it so easy. You don't need 250,000 to print. Trust me, you just need at least like 20K. So buzz me up. I'll connect you to all this. So if you have that dream, remember, don't forget to write the vision down. You know, writing it down is going to make it into bits every day, what you can do to move forward to the next way. So just have a vision. Start. Don't keep waiting. You know, you can tweak. You can always improve along the line. Like right now, my book, I'm not supposed to say this. Okay, there are certain things the book doesn't have. Of course, I'm getting my ISBN and all that. But I had already printed, and now, so what I'm trying to say is that just start. So my ISBN number gotten now and printed on the book, but I didn't have the ISBN the first time I did. But people were launching, thanks to all the friends and families. So you need to do something. So that was how in a week. And also shout out to Fluffy Diva Cakes, amazing, really cool place. That's where we launched the book in Port Harcourt. And you just need people that support you. And it was like a partnership. She makes amazing cakes, and we were able to partner, have the venue there. It wasn't all the people in the world, just a few people. Shout out to Abrahamson. In fact, I've already done a shout out on Facebook, so there are so many people I have to shout out to. So you have a community, just utilize the community. People really love you. Yeah, people love you. First of all, God loves you, and He has placed people in your path. Okay, so I don't want to make this too long. I think the nuggets are really there. Just write it down. As you're writing these things down, God will send people to you. I didn't even know Josephine like 2 months back. Just recently I met her just because she was on the path, and it was just right about time. And don't forget to pray. Not because it's religious. Now you have a relationship with your Father. He's the one that's birthing the dreams inside of you. So He's, as you're praying, you know, some people tell me I've prayed about it. I'm like, what did God tell you? And they go blank. I'm like, no. Did you? You know, you have to get this feedback. God speaks. Prayer is not a monologue, right? It's a dialogue. And you know, God's gonna surround you with so much love, and this is how it came. I and Josephine just planned the book launch. Shout out to African Writers Tribe. Shout out to, you know, River States, Anna Rivers. You know, they also came for the book launch, and the chairman Adiwali also launched the book. Shout out to Graciano. You guys should need to get his PDF 101. I mean, if you need to know some elements of writing styles and all that, you know, there's just so much to be grateful for. So I just want, this video is actually about encouraging someone to just start on their dream. You know, write it down, and you just see things coming together. And guess what? Because I was ready when Justin came all the way from Lagos, and I was in Port Harcourt at the time. And in a week, she said, let's move. And it was done because I was ready. All right? I was ready. The book was ready. All we needed to do was print. The book literally arrived a day to the launch. So guys, anybody that does anything, took the leap. They didn't wait. You know, a lot of time we say God's time is the best, but the truth is that the time is in our hands. You determine the time. God has placed eternity in the heart of man. You're not waiting for God. He's actually waiting on you. All right, let me just stop there. Shout out. Bye. Have a great day.